10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Okay then. Hello everyone and welcome to Root up against Complexity. That's right, it's the Battle of America Season 2. And I'm SP Revolution 5, joined by Dragondrop Dota. And we've got a great American Dota match. Dragondrop, how's it going, man?
Well, Revo, it's Root versus Complexity. It's hard to not feel excited about this matchup, so
yeah.
There you go.
There's rares on the line. Dota 2 Lounge finally has let us in, and we really appreciate their support. Wish they would notice some of these Tier 2 teams and show us a little more support, but that's okay. We appreciate you guys coming out, though, for the game. I know it's very exciting here for you guys. Root versus Complexity, though, when you look to hear about these two teams, generally, Root is looked at as the weaker at the moment. They've had Chicken MC standing in for them for quite a bit, and I would go as far to say he's probably just a member of the team at this point. But the only one with the tag at the moment is your boy JC. The rest of their squad seems to have disbanded, and they haven't looked as strong because of it. However, they did get here by placing top in their group, which did include Not Today. Now, Not Today did have to take 6 losses because they couldn't attend one day of the group stage, but still, Root doing very well, even though Not Today came out 6-6, or basically 6-0 for the games they played. And they have actually dropped down to the lower bracket, and we'll be seeing them in 2 days on Tuesday, but anyways, it's Complexity looking very strong, coming out on the 2nd place in their group, actually behind Rebeldez, who we'll be seeing play later tonight up against Void Boys. But since then, they've looked very good. They 2-0'd Pain pretty easily this past Tuesday, I want to say. And since then, they've been just taking it easy, playing some Star Ladder, and now they'll be playing Battle of America right now.
Yep. They've definitely made it look easy in the last game in this tournament against Pain, so we'll see whether they can repeat that here up against Root, who does have a couple of stand-ins here playing for them.
Yep. And,
of course, Dragon Fist standing in for Bloody 9 in this instance for Complexity as well.
And so, Dragon Fist known as the top player in America at the moment. Yeah. Of course, big shout out to ML Davi and her site Dota Expanse. They're helping us get some publicity out there. Come feel the Murica of the Battle of America, of course. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the draft. We see Root with a respect band to the Ogre Magi, and I'm not saying that because of a player. It's just respecting the Ogre and his sheer power at the moment.
Yeah, especially if you plan to pick up heroes like a Vengeful Spirit or even like a Centaur who can really have problems if you have that sort of constant lockdown almost, with the Fire Blast being on a very low cooldown, even without an Agnum Scepter. Then might as well get rid of that hero, because it's one of these heroes that can just, even with low health, turn around and then just get a lucky multicast and then just throw a wrench in all your plans, essentially.
Yeah, if he gets lucky enough, he can potentially just sit there on 1 HP and just throw stun after stun after stun out, and theoretically not run out of mana, for a little while anyway, and just keep you continually stunned, which can be extremely frustrating at the very least. Complexity do have a lot of magic damage already, though. They're going to make it do without the Ogre Magi. They'll pick up Skywrath Mage and Puck, which Puck is kind of nice against Vengeful Spirit, I'm not going to lie. If you're coiled up and then someone swaps you, or, well, I guess Vengeful Spirit swaps you, because nobody else can, that coil's going to snap, and you're going to be a little salty towards your Vengeful Spirit, probably. But they do have the really tanky Centaur War Runner to help them out there.
Yeah, but I do like the Puck in regards to his mobility and his capabilities, especially. Because if he's going to be a target of the swap, he's still going to be able to get out most of the time. Same goes for if Root is trying to gank him up with a Centaur Stampede. He's very mobile, very hard to catch, so at the same time, very good initiator, and the CoL is going to work wonders up against the Stampede as well. If he throws it out in an opportune time, you essentially negate the effectiveness of the Centaur ultimate entirely.
Yeah. I really think it's a smart pick up against Centaur. The only problem is Puck isn't going to be able to solo kill a Centaur like he would much squishier heroes, so that can be a bit of a downside, but they've got a lot of lockdown, a lot of silence right now. They'll also ban out the Mirana and the Ancient Apparition. Don't want supports that are going to have global potential to kind of combo up with Centaur. And can't really blame them for that one.
Yeah, Ancient Apparition especially one of these heroes that has a lot of synergy with the Centaur, simply because the Centaur enables the follow-up to the Ice Boss. It's something I've said time and time again. You gotta have something to follow the Ancient Apparition ultimate up with if you want to actually get a couple of kills with it.
Unless you have some nutty build like Scepter Refresher, but we don't see that too much. Slark and Ember, the bans from Root. Kind of afraid of that hero that's going to get around the teamfight, seeing as they don't have any silence yet. They'll also pick up a Jakiro. So not a whole lot of lockdown if they can't get a good Vengeful Spirit's stun off or a Centaur stomp. But Jakiro will offer a lot of push and a lot of lane control as well.
Yeah, that is actually a lot of lockdown. I mean, Vengeful Spirit, the stun is not the longest duration, but it's nice enough to set up for for good Jakiro Ice Path, which can be tricky to land sometimes, and that added on to another can help the Centaur get in range for a stun if he doesn't have a Blink Dagger or his ultimate yet. So don't really hate the lockdown from Root.
Yeah.
Complexity though is lacking a little bit. They only really have the CoL, and that's not really a stun. They do have a lot of silences though, and that can be a pain for Jakiro to deal with.
Yeah, and silence is a big problem for a very caster-based hero. Also, one other thing I want to point out here, Battle of America, our other match tonight, Rebelda is up against Void Boys, is on Dota 2 Best YOLO, if you'd like to bet on that. Of course, it's not Dota 2 Lounge, but it is an up-and-coming betting site, and they've helped us out a lot. They've posted the vast majority of our matches on there, and it's been really helpful in terms of publicity. It's been really helpful altogether. We do see a Bane coming out from Complexity, though, and they banned Mirana. I'm a bit puzzled by this, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. You don't really see that hero comboed up with without a combination with the Mirana. Simply, I mean, he's still a great hero. He can still do a lot. The problem with picking him up now is that Root still has some potential to counteract that with like a Rubik pick, because the Fiend's Grip is the easiest spell to steal.
And it's a very useful spell as well. I mean, it is a way to kind of soft ban out those BKB focused carries. Like, now I'm blanking on BKB focused carries. Of course.
Well, plenty. Phantom Assassin, Anti-Mage, all these kind of hard carries that want to get in your face in fights and don't want to be disabled doing so.
Yeah. Because, obviously, the Bane will go straight through BKB. His damage won't, but the, I want to say 5 seconds of channeled lockdown will? Yeah. And that's pretty intense.
Yeah. So, I mean, Root can play around that, can maybe utilize a Rubik to counteract the Bane and put the Jakiro in a co-position, not unheard of by any means. But Bane is still a great hero early on in the laning stage, simply because he has a very strong long-duration lockdown in form of the Nightmare, as well as a good nuke that also gives him some survivability here with the Brain Sap. So, and depending on how the lanes shape up, he might even be able to use the Enfeeble, but presumably not.
Yeah, let me actually...
together with the Skyroth Mage, I mean, you can still utilize the Nightmare to set up for the Skyroth and someone else to get in close to a hero that's maybe a little bit too far forward and then get a kill that way.
Yeah, sorry, I just realized I hadn't updated the title, so I figured I might want to do that, you know? Might just help a little bit.
Yeah, I was wondering actually when you figured that out for yourself.
This isn't E-Hug. What? But yeah, Wraith King up for Root Gaming. They're going with kind of Aura Gaming at the moment, with those two, but Templar Assassin coming up for Complexity, and this is a hero who I honestly think is a bad pick at the moment. I'm just gonna throw that one out there. Against Jakiro, she doesn't do well. And they have the potential to just say, okay, mid lane Jakiro, let's go.
Yeah, if I was Root, that would be the way I was gonna go. But Complexity, on the other hand, might expect that and put the Templar Assassin in a role that we are... I mean, you already have a puck, right? So he might be mid. So a Templar Assassin might actually be in the farming role, but can also be an offlane puck, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. But if the Jakiro is in the lane up against the Templar Assassin, then of course the Refraction is not going to do anything to keep her safe. And also the Wraith King stun actually has some damage over time after it as well, so that's another good way to deal with that. Yeah, she's good up against Centaur though, and the Vengeful Spirit, so... But still, not the best pickup here, I would say.
Yeah,
10 seconds.
I am confused about that, to be honest, here.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't like the pickup at the moment. They do ban out the Zeus. They're going to pick up a Dragon Knight, and this is another hero who can be very good against TA, but... Their lineup's very flexible, again, and it's kind of like we saw from E-Hug last night. They can do a lot of things with this lineup. We could see support Wraith King, support Jakiro, core Jakiro, safe lane Dragon Knight. I mean, it's a little weird, but it can happen. But they're very tanky, and that's a very good thing to be up against Skywrath and Puck. You need that extra pool of HP because you can't just rely on armor to carry you through. The only problem is they have picked up Dragon Knight, who is pretty much a BKB carry.
Yeah, but he's kind of the hero that wants to create space, so if he can tank up the Bane ultimate, and he, as you said, he is quite tanky, so he can definitely do something like that, then it might be alright if it buys enough space for the Centaur and the Wraith King and the Jakiro as well to throw out the spells. And the Venomancer. Okay, I really like this hero in general, and in this matchup...
Good, it's on.
Depending on whether he can get off to a good start. I mean, he is being played by Swindle, so I believe he's being played as a core here.
I'm assuming
so. If he gets gold and levels, then he can definitely fight up against the Wraith King, the Dragon Knight, and Centaur that are quite tanky, but that's a lot of poison damage coming out. The problem is, if this game goes late, then this poison damage will fall off tremendously. So Complexity is gonna look to end this in the mid game when the Templar Assassin is hopefully at its peak.
Yeah, we do have the first game in the best of 3 coming up right now. I'm looking at these lineups and I have to favor Root Gaming simply because Jakiro is just good against Templar Assassin. And their lineup is so flexible. They're not going to be able to predict these lanes. Let's go ahead and do some introductions here. I'll start off with Root. We've got WoW Player 69 on the Wraith King. Chicken MC, hashtag Hoes Ain't Loyal. Sounds a little salty over a relationship. And oh boy, it's going to be a good one. That's the Wraith King I already introduced. Sorry about that. We've got Nevinirol on the Jakiro. Tunarla will be on the Vengeful Spirit. Actually standing in from, not E-Hug, but Men of Pauses, if I'm correct.
Together we did it.
Together we did it, that's right. Yep. I knew it was one of the teams who casted last night. Sorry about that. And last but not least, we've got the Centaur, played by your boy JC, in the off lane.
On the other side of the river, we've got the one and the only Moon Meander playing the Bane here, scouting out the bottom room.
Wait, what?
He's being followed by Z-Freak on the Scour of Mage. In the bottom lanes, we've got Swindle and Core Venomancer. In the mid lane, we've got Dragon Fist, the wonder from the leaderboards, you could say, maybe, on the Templar Assassin in mid, which leaves Limp on the offlane Puck.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see why they're putting Moon on the Bane. Usually he's been playing hard carry for the team, and they're going to pass it over to Swindle, so I'm assuming this isn't actually a stand-in issue, since they could still... They could put Swindle on support, but I'm guessing Swindle isn't as comfortable on support as Moon is, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess...
It's always a question of whether you're comfortable with the hero as well, so it might just be that.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Bloody Nine is, by the way, but I'm sure the team can cope without him. I think he's actually visiting family, I want to say. Last I spoke to Beef last week. But anyways, best of luck to both teams. Of course, I'm Mr. Revolution 5, joined by dragondrop. And this is the Battle of America. Big shout out to you guys for coming out. We've got about 500 viewers already. And since the match is on Dota 2 Lounge, I'm assuming that's going to rise a bit. Chicken MC will be playing up against the TA on the mid lane. And since Breathe Fire is one instance of damage, I'm not sure how well he's going to do in the early game here. Now, once he gets his dragon form up, he should be okay.
Yeah, but until then, Dragon Twist is gonna really dominate this lane. I mean, you already see him making good use of the, what's it called, the side blades as well, throwing out harassment. And Chicken MC already on very low health. He's got a bottle moving
Oh, but
up
your boy
now,
JC,
so
he's going to go down to Moon Meander for the first blood.
Okay.
And, yeah, he just got harassed down. The damage over time from Vino. I guess they're looking to just push these towers in. And when the enemy team has something like a Jakiro, usually you want to pick up some kind of counter push to that. Vino's not the best, I'd say, simply because he's not going to be able to clear creep waves that quickly. But he will be able to kind of rat it out and set up these anti-siege kind of defenses with his wards. Will actually be a double damage picked up by Chicken MC here on the mid lane, and I'm really excited to be seeing Dragon Fist on the TA. Most of these high-skill players will use TA in ranked to kind of grind MMR. Seeing as if you can win your lane as her, you can probably win the game, unless your team is mentally ill, you know?
Yeah, really, it depends. I mean, sure, if you win the lane, you're really setting yourself up for a good mid game, and you can dominate, but you have to deliver, essentially, right?
Yeah.
All the time, and then at some point, even then, you will probably fall off.
Yeah, eventually
right now,
you're going to
doing a
fall
very
off
good
as TA. But I think that's part of the reason Complexity have drafted this mid-game heavy lineup. I'm not sure where the Bane fits in still. I'm going to be completely honest about that one. But they've got a lot of burst, and Bane does add to that. But TA does do a lot of burst damage physically, and most of these heroes are going to be concerned with building a BKB rather than some armor or just extra HP up against Templar. So they're going to be looking at countering the rest of the team, and Dragon Fist should be able to come online and really put some pressure on. The only real upside is the Chicken MC's Dragon Knight. He'll have that bonus armor that is part of the reason you pick Dragon Knight, up to 12 extra armor from that. And I mean, that's over 1,400 gold worth in item terms, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's going to be really useful up against a Templar Assassin later on. So you kind of have to have that, but that also means that you don't feel as tanky as you would up against other heroes.
Yep.
If you're the Dragon Knight, but it just kind of helps you survive up against the Templar Assassin, not get utterly bursted down by her physical damage later on.
Yeah. And it's going to help him sustain in lane against Templar. Moon does find himself in the Invis rune, but Chicken MC had already seen him because your boy JC was watching the map and pinged it out for him. They'll find TA a bounty rune, which will help her farm out a bit. She doesn't have too amazing farm. Never mind, she's actually got face boots. I'm just kidding. She's got fantastic farm right now. 25 and 10. That didn't exactly line up for me, but Limp, on the other hand, in the top lane is, well, looking a bit limp, if you ask me. He's sitting 4-0 up against a Wraith King who's 26 and 3, and this is the problem with Puck in the off lane. Yeah, he can get levels, but that Blink Dagger is getting delayed like crazy.
Yeah, that's... Oh, he didn't dodge that somehow. Just ate a stun from Wild Player here. But yeah, he's gonna be alright, I guess. I mean, he's getting some levels, not the most levels, simply because he has to deal with harassment from Jakiro here. It's kind of the problem that he has, but he's gonna look to steal some of the experience here from the stack that Root's been making here.
Yeah, your boy JC getting jumped on with the silence, and Swindle able to secure the kill there. And going ahead, pushing in the tower. I like his placement of these wards, by the way, putting them behind the tower so they go ahead and catch the creep wave before his creep wave will really come under any damage. Of course, it won't aggro the creeps, but just getting that extra early damage off and the little bit of extra vision it gives him as well. They're actually going to be taking this tower very quickly, and I'm not sure there's much that Root can do about it.
I'm not so sure either, and they might as well just go claim the mid-tier 1 after the fact. Chicken MC gonna eat a nightmare here. Dragon Fist is ready. They might be able to burst him down, and they will be able to.
Yep.
Wow.
The armor reduction...
Didn't expect that at all here. The rotation from Moon Meander.
Yeah, he's got up to potential 8 armor reduction from the meld, and with that 1 point, Dragon Fist basically takes away most of your point in Dragon's Blood. I mean, you still have 1 extra armor, but that's not really that much, let's be honest here. Wraith King will pick up a 6.5 minute Midas, though. I think that's kind of the right decision here. if they're gonna be able to win this game, it's gonna be in the late game, I think. Complexity will dominate the mid game, and so why not just go ahead and farm for that mid game or late game and know that's your goal and pick up the Midas early.
Yeah, they're gonna kind of putting all their eggs in one basket with this. They're gonna have to rely on the Wraith King to do work in 2 lives. The problem is there is Bane on the other side, and that Fiend's Grip also does drain your mana quite nicely. Yeah. That's something that we haven't touched on yet, but it can be a very big difference maker here. If they can get a kill with the Fiend's Grip on the Wraith King, then they can make sure that they only have to kill him once, essentially.
It is 5% mana per second, right?
It can be quite a lot, so I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm making sure it's not 5% mana altogether, because that's really not much.
Yeah, 5% mana drain.
Moving into though, helping Vino take down your boy JC and just nightmaring up the Vengeful Spirit who's coming in. But it's not going to do too much, to be honest here. They will spot the Jakiro who's moving through as well. He'll trade some hits with Moon. He hasn't actually thrown out Liquid Fire yet. There's an Ice Path. He's getting hit by a lot of damage though. Moon Meander able to pick up the last hit there, but Templar Assassin in the meantime finds Chicken MC. She's got a Haste Rune. She'll Refraction up, and there's nothing that Tunerla can do. He tries to juke up and down the cliff, but it doesn't work the way Roshan Pit does. You can't juke back down and expect them not to see you, and your boy JC now getting jumped on. And yeah, it's becoming a massacre. 8-1 for Complexity in game number 1, when I honestly would say they have the weaker draft, but part of the problem here is that Root keeps switching up their players. They keep saying, okay, well, we've got these 2 players that look good, and then we've got 3 stand-ins, and the next day we have different stand-ins, the next day we have different stand-ins, and it's like, okay, can we get some consistency in the lineup, because then we'll actually start to see some more success from you guys.
Yeah, and it really shows. I mean, that has a big impact. I mean, they're kind of lacking the shot caller there, because at some point someone must have... I mean, the call must have been to just not engage there, but it just didn't come. And the way this engagement worked was essentially your boy JC dying first here under the tier 2. Then Jakiro died here in the jungle. Then Vengeful Spirit was down here, threw her the stun. Then Dragonfist came in with Lucky Haste Rune, killed her up there, and then after the fact, your boy JC teleported back in, died again. So there we go.
Nice Ice Path, but it's a little too late as Dragonfist is now on a mega kill streak. It's 9-1, literally 9 times the kills for Complexity. I know, such math, very amazed.
And yeah, they don't give a fuck right now. They're diving tier 2s when the tier 1 in the lane is still up and running, because they've got so much momentum with that.
Whoa! Chicken MC just like, okay, really? They're gonna try to charge down Vino, and they'll actually find him. So that is a much needed kill for him. However, JC taking a lot of damage here. He'll actually fall to the Vino. He can bottle up here though, thanks to Dragonite, and he is gonna sustain through it that way, but they lose a tower in the process as well. This is one of the big strengths of Templar, is that with Refraction up, you can just jump in on an enemy hero and go ham, pretty much.
It's being pulled apart here now.
Oh my gosh, and the CoL comes out. I don't think they have another stun, but they'll actually find him. Puck coming in, and he didn't even need to use the Waning Rift,
The burst damage was enough to bring him low enough so that the snap damage could kill him in Fountain. That's the most annoying part of... that's the most annoying way to die to the CoL, really.
Yeah, almost if you're on low health and you TP out, there's...
The thing is, he wasn't full health when he started the TP, so...
But again,
it just goes to show that the amount of momentum and the amount of burst damage that Complexity can pull out at this point, because they've got so much farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you actually look at the network distribution, it's all 5 players of Complexity up there, and only the Wraith King
because of his Midas
anywhere near there because of his Midas, and because of frankly he had free farm up here, but they haven't been able to put it to any use just yet. Might give us up his ultimate here as Swindle comes in. He's all alone though.
He's got his ult, so I don't think he's scared. They will swap down Swindle, and the slow coming out from Tunerla. The mech coming out from Swindle, though. Puck to the rescue. He comes in with a silence. Tunerla magic sticking up to try and live. Will at least help Wraith King bring down the Venomancer. But Venomancer finding a revenge kill. And WoW player, he's just like, I'm out. I am out of here. He's going for a Blink Dagger, I think. And this is the kind of surprise initiation and also kind of counter initiation they need.
Yep.
On Root right now.
They need him to make something happen right now. and they don't have a whole lot of time to do that.
Yep.
I mean, he made a good call jumping out there, because I think that was Complexity's plan. Just bait out the ultimate, bait, and then counter-initiate with the puck. It did work to some degree, as they did get the Vengeful Spirit, but they didn't get Wraith King twice, which was a big... I mean, at least they triggered his ultimate, right? And it's still level 1, so that's a really, really long cooldown. So that means, essentially, that even if he does get his Blink Dagger now, he can't be playing as aggressively as he maybe could have with that ultimate still up and running.
Yeah. We do have top tower, though, under siege. They don't even need the Veno here for that, it looks like. He's instead just hanging out in the mid lane, working on some farm. He's got 1,000 in the bank to work on that Scepter, I'm assuming. But the problem is that Root can't really defend these towers that easily. I mean, they don't even have the ult up on Jakiro, which is a great source of counter push. However, they will take down a bot tower right now and at least make an okay trade. But I feel like as much push as Complexity have, and just the momentum they have in general, they're going to be able to break the space soon. Or at least close off a lot of space Root would have to farm in their ideal situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, that was the first tower that fell down here for Root, with a Jakiro and as well as a Dragon Knight on the team, and they're still pushing together. They'll be able to bring down this tier 2 as well, so the 2 for 2 tower trade essentially. 2 tier 2s for tier 1 and tier 2, if they even get it here.
Yeah, they're not actually gonna finish it off. The Glyph comes out as well, and they just use the charge to get away. They're not using the charge to fight. They're just gonna say, hey, we've got to get out of here. Right now we have to rat Dota and just get some net worth up. Dragon Knight's managed to kind of breach the Skywrath glass ceiling there, but
Yay.
He's still below Moon Meander, which normally you'd be like, well, of course he's below Moon Meander, Complexity's ahead, but Moon Meander's on support. This is a Bane who's got a Medallion, a Null Talisman, Mana Boots, a Dragon Knight who's got a Bracer and Boots, and there goes Vengeful Spirit.
Ouch. It's the second time he died in that same spot. Both times he just got caught out and annihilated out of the blue. But yeah, that's just a Vengeful Spirit for you, right? She can do a whole lot, but she's also very squishy.
And this is one of the problems with Root's draft, is it is flexible, but since it's so flexible, it doesn't really do anything that well. You know? It's not got a really strong thing. It's like, well, they can push with Jakiro and Dragon Knight, kinda. And they can team fight a bit with the Jakiro and the Wraith King and the Centaur, but it's really not that great. They're also really tanky, but I mean, if you just don't die, but you also don't do any damage, then they don't have a problem with not killing you. You're not stopping them doing anything at that point.
They also don't really have a good recipe to deal with this push here, because once Venomancer sets up with the wards, it's going to be really hard to push into that, especially with that ultimate that's now finally up and running for Swindle.
Yeah.
And he's got a Mag Arcane Boots
and a point
booster, so...
And now Puck with a 14-minute offlane blink. I mean, this is a Puck who was 4-0 when Wraith King was much farther along. I mean, it's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst thing in the world. And now the Medallion from Moon Meander going to be used to secure a Roche for Dragon Fist. And he's going to be picking up a BKB pretty soon. But here's a charge in from Root. A nice coil, though, from Limp. And he's going to get 4 with that. Nice silence coming off as well. However, they're still alive, all of them right now. There's a kill from Dragon Fist, as he's now unstoppable. Venomancer finding a kill as well. They start to drop, and it's a team wipe and a GG call.
Wow.
15 minutes in from Root Gaming. Complexity looking very strong, but the game isn't over yet. Hold on to your rares. Hold on to your hats. Because it is a best of 3, and you can't tell what's going to happen in games 2 and 3. You can't predict that.
Yeah, that moment when you find the Venomancer first and you can't kill him.
Guys, we've got him! We picked off the Venom! Oh wait, his ult.
Yeah, he didn't even die. That's the thing.
Yeah, and even if he had died...
If you can't kill a Venomancer, then you might as well call GG.
If he had died, it would be whatever at that point. I mean, I'd honestly be okay with it.
Yeah.
But we're going to be going into game number 2 very shortly, guys. Of course, in the break, we wouldn't mind if you checked us out on Twitter at dragondropdota for Dragondrop over here, and for myself at SPRevolution5. We're enjoying bringing these matches to you, and hopefully the next one will go a little longer, because it's kind of a shame we got a match on Dota 2 Lounge and stomp. Okay, next time. Anyways, we'll be right back, guys. Enjoy the music while you wait. This is the Battle of America.